Another Disney disgrace is a huge embarrassing failure at the box office. You know, we are coming up on the third annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards. Next month, I'll start taking your nominations to see who will receive the prestigious honor of being 2025's biggest failure. We are going on our third year of the HEF Awards, and I don't think Disney has ever been nominated, which is strange, because the non-binary mouse has become synonymous with failure. I can't think of the last movie that Disney produced that was a success. When I was growing up, Disney was unstoppable. It was the premier brand of entertainment for kids. Movies, theme parks, TV shows. Remember the Friday night lineup on ABC TGIF? If you didn't watch TGIF on Friday nights, you had nothing to talk about at school on Monday morning. You were forced to sit at the nerd table where they were looking at risque pictures of Chewbacca. The Mighty Ducks, Angels in the Outfield, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Disney was responsible for producing dozens and dozens of films from our childhood. And for the most part, all of them were successful. But over the last 5 or so years, everything Disney touches turns into a turd. Why? Because Disney made the one mistake that you can't ever make. Disney committed the unforgivable sin. Disney pissed off Mama. The fractured relationship between mothers and Disney, I think it started back in the late 90s. I think I've shared this story with you guys before, but I'll go ahead and share it again. I went to a public high school, but from kindergarten through middle school, I was in private school. Every year before graduation, school sponsored a trip for the 8th grade class to Disney World. My 8th grade year, the school outright refused to book the trip. They would allow us to go to Universal Studios in Orlando. They would allow us to go to Busch Gardens in Tampa. But a school-sponsored trip to Disney World? No bueno. Why? A year or so before, Disney started dedicating an entire week to the gay pride. Disney World essentially turned into Wiener World for a full week. There were rainbows everywhere. Instead of winning a Little Mermaid at one of those doofus games, Disney was giving away a life-size poster of Chad Thundercock. At the time, Disney only dedicated 1 week a year to celebrating Pride, and it wasn't even the week that we were going to be there. Class trip was in April, and I believe the celebration of Wiener was in June. But the school refused to sponsor the trip because they just didn't want to be associated with Disney. As a 13-year-old boy, I thought the school was being ridiculous. I thought they were being overprotective. I thought they were overreacting. Looking back at it now, I understand where they were coming from. You see, when it comes to deacons at Woke United Methodist, you cannot give them the benefit of tolerance. They look at tolerance as weakness and they exploit it. Fast forward almost 30 years later, the Disney of the 90s no longer exists. Parents can no longer trust their children with Disney, and maybe, just maybe, that's why damn near every Disney movie that's released loses hundreds of millions of dollars. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. Earlier today on the second channel, talked about James Franklin being fired by Penn State. Yesterday, we talked about Lane Kiffin criticizing students at Ole Miss, and rightfully so. Ole Miss is undefeated. They're one of the top teams in the country. And not only are they not selling out home games, students at Ole Miss, they can't even be bothered to walk across campus and show up. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Over the weekend, Disney released their latest disaster. It's an exciting, action-packed film called Tron Arse. KC, what the hell is Tron Ass? Tron Ass is the third installment in the Tron series, which was news to Uncle KC because I had never heard of the first two. Tron Ass follows some dude named Sam Flynn as he attempts to retrieve his father from the grid. They fight something called Incom and Dillinger in a race to bring digital constructs to reality. The movie stars Jared Leto, vomit, and Jeff Bridges, double vomit. Obviously, it was funded and produced by Disney, which is automatically barf-inducing. Last week, Jeff Bridges, he was booked on Jim Kimmel to invite the nerds and wanker spankers to see this exciting dork fest. I know for a fact that Jeff Bridges was not on Jim Kimmel to promote this movie to normal people because normal people don't watch Jim Kimmel. If you don't believe me, go look at his ratings, or just watch one of my videos where I explain how Jim Kimmel has lost 85% of his audience. But anyway, John Bridges is promoting the film with Jim Kimmel. I have never promoted a movie before, but I would assume if I am booked on these late night dumps to promote a film, my primary objective would be to make myself and the movie appealing to everyone. I know for damn sure that I wouldn't want to give people any reason to not support the film. Unfortunately, John Bridges appears to be a novice when it comes to marketing and promotion. Last week, he is speaking with Jim Kimmel. He's supposed to be talking about Tron and his arse. For reasons unknown, Jack Bridges starts talking about ICE, and he gave over half the country a perfect reason not to support this polished turd. Watch for yourself.
ICE? Let's get ICE off our streets and into our beverages. This aggression will not stand, huh? Right?
Right.
So let's just abide, huh? Abide together. Yes, we can do this.
That's who Disney has promoting their movies in the year of our Lord 2025. Some seemingly drunk geezer complaining to the face of failure about federal agents giving illegal immigrants a paid vacation back home. Opening weekend of the box office. Tron generated $33 million. Internationally, which usually generates significantly higher revenue than what we see domestically here in America, since, you're comparing the rest of the world to a single country. But internationally, Tron performed even worse. $27 million for a grand total of around $61-62 million. It cost Disney over $180 million to produce this turd. Once you factor in marketing and promotion, the budget easily exceeded $300 million, which means Disney is once again looking at hundreds of millions of dollars in losses. Unfortunately for Disney, Jeff and his bridge were not the reason that Tron Ass was a huge embarrassing failure. It would be good news for Disney if they could blame a single actor, but the problem for Disney is much, much worse. The reason Disney movies keep failing is because parents no longer trust their children with Disney. And the reason parents no longer trust Disney with their children is because Disney has given them plenty of reasons not to. Non-binary characters, stories of mythical racism, cartoons where mom and mom are raising kids, or a mom that used to be dad but transitioned to mom. Why in the hell would any parent allow their child to watch Disney? Like I said earlier, Disney committed the unforgivable sin. They pissed off mothers. As every married man in America can tell you, women are emotional thinkers. Women never forget how you make them feel. We were eating dinner last night. My daughter was telling me about her next flag football game. The coaches adjusted the schedule. The game is tomorrow instead of Thursday when it was originally scheduled. My wife says, "Oh, I didn't know that." My daughter looks at her and says, I literally told you about this yesterday. My wife does the same thing to me. She's very detailed, but she can easily be forgetful at the same time. She'll ask when the yard man is coming. I'll tell her he's coming tomorrow. Next morning, she will wake up and ask me again, when is the yard man coming? But anything that triggers her emotions, anything that makes her feel, whether good or bad, she will never forget. I'm watching Red Zone yesterday afternoon, and my wife says, remember the first year we were together? You told me that one of the things you liked about me was that I liked to watch sports with you. That was so special. I nodded and said, oh, yeah, of course I remember. When the reality is, I don't remember ever saying anything like that. I'm sure I did say it because I do like that about her, but I had forgotten she hadn't. The point is, women will never forget how you make them feel. Now, that can be a good thing or it can be incredibly damaging. In the case of Disney, it is incredibly damaging because for years now, maybe even decades, Disney has made mothers across America feel unsafe. And when a woman feels unsafe, she never forgets that feeling. If you don't believe me, go ask the CEO of Target. You'll have to ask the new CEO because the other one had to resign. May of 2023, Target shares were trading for around $160 a share. That month, Target decided that they were going to be ambitious. Instead of starting their Pride celebrations in June, they launched their celebration of Wiener in the middle of May. They put up promos of Chad Thundercock modeling tuck-friendly bathing suits in the kids section. Obviously, mothers across America were absolutely mortified. That was 2.5 years ago. Target never recovered. As of today, shares are trading for around $87 a share. They have lost almost 50% of their value. Same thing with Disney. Mothers no longer feel safe. Mothers no longer feel secure with Disney entertaining their children. And I don't know if Disney will ever recover. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.